Grave Reviews, this is Chris.
Have you tracked the children?
There's no children here. It's not safe for them.
This is Alan, and Chris is right. Grave Reviews is intended for mature audiences. Your discretion is advised. Grave Reviews presents Thursday Night Frights. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. This is Alan. I'm your host. Sitting next to me in another state altogether is my co-host and good friend, Chris. How are you, sir?
We're back, baby. We're back.
Yes.
Little summer break. Need a little take care of some adulting, which is bullshit. Pardon my French.
Well, it's funny. I always say I love the fact that I am an adult, right? Because it comes with definite perks. The act of adulting is horrible.
And that's why we can buy alcohol. So, cheers.
Cheers.
Welcome back.
Clankety clank.
Clankety clank.
Oh, all right. So that all being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here tonight. We're talking about kind of a controversial one here. We've seen people post to us already saying how much they love this movie. We've had a lot of people say how much they hate it. What are we talking about tonight, Chris?
This one splits down the middle, and we'll give you a little rundown of this show to start us off. Death of a Unicorn, a 2025 film and directorial debut from Alex Sharfman, features a star-studded cast, a unique and interesting genre-bending story, and almost enough money to pull off the special effects. Almost. The preface: a father and daughter head to the wilderness to oversee one of the world's elite's money laundering philanthropic adventure. You know, carry the legacy of a dead rich guy beyond the veil and become financially stable enough to be a dad, I guess. All right. But en route, our desperate but slightly disconnected father hits, of all things, a unicorn. And after we're sure the creature is dead,
Twice.
Three times?
Three
Twice?
times.
And studied by doctors and scientists, which are on hand to keep this patriarch alive, its healing energies are put to use, bringing our billionaire back from the brink of death to the top of a new source of the fountain of youth to exploit to their friends, like they do. Only problem, it's the baby unicorn, and mom and dad have a bone to pick with everyone. Cue the horror in this movie, and with the death we all wanted to see. What do you do with a unicorn horn? They use it very well.
Yes.
And we got to see it. What follows is ridiculous yet must-see kills, creepy dark jump scares, magical heartwarming moments, over-the-top comedy, maybe some say played out. Wonder if unicorn horn is like sticking a blowfly up your nose. All of which we were kind of shown in the trailers. Does this have enough elements to overcome some played out humor, some loose strings that are not tied up? They're kind of tangled. And an ending more in line with fantasy than horror? Yeah, in short, it does for me. Will Poulter, Anthony Carrigan are hilarious in their roles. The typecast, but perfect fit for Jenna Ortega. You know, the rebellious, not quite as goth as Wednesday version, Jenna Ortega. And America's funny, witty dad, uncle, brother, Ghostbuster, sexy Gen Xer Paul Rudd. However, a comedy horror, this is not. A tad on the dark side, but we grew up with legend. What do you think of when I say Tim Curry or Tom Cruise? So let's be honest, could have gone way darker here. This fantasy ride was funny. It's fresh, and luckily it had the right people in place to carry up and make up for its shortcomings. Grab the popcorn and escape with this one. It's entertaining, but we're fantasy, not horror.
Good synopsis, of which about half I fully agree with, and another half I think you're full of. You didn't watch the same movie I did.
It's possible.
I will say this: I think that this cast is fantastic.
Oh, absolutely. Over the top.
going to say this. These characters aren't worth a shit. They weren't written well. They weren't portrayed well. There was not one of them I cared about by the end of this movie.
Right.
They didn't give me enough of a story for Paul Rudd, who,
Hmm.
for the first time ever, I watched a movie with Paul Rudd in it that I didn't like Paul Rudd in it. I don't
Yeah,
understand
he
how.
was for a father, man. I get it. I get you're trying to find that one last thing. You're a single parent. You're
Mhm.
trying your best for your kid. So you're doing some dirty shit in order to get where you got to get in order to be financially stable. But you're still a dad in the end. And Paul Rudd as a dad in this one kind of sucked. I'm with you.
It was really hard for me because I mean, I love Paul Rudd. I love Jenna Ortega. Love them. Tia Leone. Oh my God. I mean,
Oh,
there are some killer people in this, and I feel like they were handcuffed. They didn't give you enough of. They spent so much time beating you over the head with rich people bad, that you
right.
didn't really get to like the characters enough to give a shit whether they lived or died.
The
Uh,
shortcomings I mentioned of is definitely in the character arcs where we're kind of meant to guess where the dynamic is between father and daughter. We're given enough information to know that he's just trying to do the best for her.
yep.
But what we're shown is more along the lines of, honey, I've got work to do.
Yeah.
And
A
you're
lot.
left with, I get it, but dude, come on, man. Like,
Yeah.
who cares if that rich guy, your daughter's over here worrying about dying? you
And
know,
not only that, but when you've got arguably the funniest guy on the cast, right, being that shut up, I've got work to do. It really
Mhm.
kind of left a bad. The first half of this movie left a bad taste in my mouth. That the second half, which was much, much, much
Oh,
better, didn't overcome for
yeah,
me.
right.
The best parts of the movie were all shown in the trailer, which I hate. I hate when they do that.
That's the roughest part about this one is if you watch the trailer, the best jokes are in the trailer, man.
Yeah.
You could have pulled from so many that were lighthearted jokes. This thing had me laughing over a lot of dumb things,
Mhm.
but at the same time, I'm like, I saw that one.
Yeah.
Mm,
I think that okay, so when you've got a movie that's entitled Death of a Unicorn, you kind of know what you're going to get, right?
mhm.
Within the first 10 minutes, you're like, you could probably sit there and play this whole movie out pretty close in your head of what was going to happen.
Oh
Uh,
yeah,
they didn't surprise you. And when that is the case, they need to lean into it, right?
right,
In order to
definitely.
really make you walk out of that going, man, that was great. I was glad I bought a soda, I bought a popcorn. I had an hour and a half to almost 2 hours where I forgot the world and I had a great time. Had
Right.
they had they leaned into it, and I hate to keep bringing this movie up, but it seems like it comes up at least once a month when we're on here. If they would have leaned into it like Zombiever, no,
Yeah.
no, okay, let's take that out. If they'd have leaned into it like Cocaine Bear,
Okay, if they had leaned into it like Ghostbusters, because
uh-huh.
I see a lot of this. Well, there's a lot of parallels that make this a unique story. We're
Mhm.
kind of horror, but kind of not. There's some comedy in there that's thrown. Like I said, Anthony Carrigan as Griff. I loved his
Oh,
character. I
mhm.
just love it the fact that where you were like at the end where he's like, "I've got a wife and kids," and she's like, "You got a wife and kids?"
I
Of course I do.
thought,
I love his character. Will Poulter going from the silly eyebrow kid that we all knew
yeah,
to, coming through the Marvel universe, just kind of break him away as an adult. He was over the top on this one. But again, some
mhm.
of the jokes we just had to hit like 3, 4 times, and you're like, I wish you took the whole snorting a unicorn horn a little differently, maybe. If we're going to play it out this much, we could have done more than just, I know everything in the universe. You don't
Yeah,
understand. I know everything in the universe.
he could have been it could have been one of those things where like what was the downfall of taking too much, right? Because at some
Right.
point he's mixing the blood in his drink, and his dad's
Oh yeah.
um,
Dad's eating steak.
it's a finite amount of this that we have, but I'm going to consume as much of it as possible.
Right. Yeah.
You would have thought that maybe there would have been some really adverse side effect or something they could have leaned into, which would have been kind of a neat twist. Although
Yeah.
I do have to admit, it was all in Tia Leone's delivery, because she has the ability to do this dry humor.
Oh, it's
When
perfect.
when he did the line, and she goes, I thought you were in rehab."
Right. Right. Yeah.
It was like,
Yeah.
that-
We need an 8 ball of 3.5 grams. That's an oddly specific number.
yeah. Uh, those two actually, surprisingly enough, those two were the best two in the movie to me.
Their chemistry, I'll tell you what, all of the characters together, the chemistry was there. I think we had some unrealized moments between Paul Rudd and Jenna Ortega for sure. Jenna Ortega hit her notes, I think, really well. It was just that disconnect we got from Paul Rudd that, he's always plays that guy that, Ant-Man, Ghostbusters, he's always that guy that he's the good friend. And in this movie, he's a dick. And he really is a dick. He's a dick as a father. He's an absent father. Best of intentions, but we don't know enough of that dynamic prior to this to give a shit.
And I think the failure there was they had this wonderful ensemble cast that they spent so much, like I said before, so much time playing discount. I can't even believe that this thought just came to my mind. They spent so much time playing discount Fall of the House of Usher pharmaceutical bad,
Right.
right?
Right.
That
Right.
lost the whole Jenna Ortega. And by the way, I don't care what anyone says. Whether you like Jenna Ortega or not, whether you like Paul Rudd or not, when you watch one of their movies, you're thinking to yourself, well, this is kind of the same character they played in the last movie, with the exception of one, it's completely different.
Absolutely.
This is an hour and 45 minutes or so, hour and 50 minutes or so of take whatever their name in the movie out, just substitute the real name. There's nothing in this that's not enough. It's Ant-Man if Ant-Man wasn't funny.
Right.
It's the girl from Scream if the girl from Scream wasn't funny.
Mm.
That's the characters you've got, and unfortunately that was bad writing and bad directing. That was not
Yeah,
bad.
I think it was just some unrealized what you have with you. I mean, you've got your two leads are, I mean, they're the I would say the example of where typecasting goes right.
Yes.
Their typecasted characters work well with a lot of things. Jenna Ortega's killing it in Wednesday. I mean,
Yes.
that's a whole nother subject when it comes to horror itself. When maybe we put on the wheel or do a special or something about, because Jenna Ortega is great.
Yes.
But it seemed like we didn't pull enough from that as a director, as a writer, maybe to really sink that character, because you had the two perfect characters, really, the doting dad and the rebellious daughter kind of coming together and finding,
But
family.
he wasn't doting enough, and she wasn't rebellious enough.
Right. She
And,
vaped a little bit, and he was too busy trying to make a shit ton of money off of some asshole.
and then her figuring out what the unicorns were doing based on the tapestries that came so quick and so early that they basically told you what the rest of the movie was going to be.
Right.
With
With telling you that there's a tapestry and that some of the tapestry was missing, but somehow they found the missing pieces of the tapestry and were able to show you those missing pieces through, we don't know, movie magic.
Through as my dad used to say, God rest his soul, it was in the script. Right?
Exactly. Plot armor. Because plot armor.
Convenience. Absolutely.
Yeah. It had, and it was those touching moments where, like, we kept reaching back for the mother portion, which makes me wonder anyway. Did stuff get left on the editing floor that would have made some more sense of this?
Maybe.
And but see, like I'm going to crap on this, and we're going to come to a culmination at the end, because I do agree with Alan. There's a lot here that you're expected to know. There's a lot here that you're okay. We did a little bit of mental gymnastics to be like, oh, she remembers a moment with her mother with these tapestries of a unicorn, and my doing my research, it is kind of. I didn't realize unicorns were looked at as like dangerous, they're magical, but you don't want to really go pet one unless you're a virgin.
Uh-huh.
um
And
Pretty much.
there's also a lot of people don't know this. In the King James Bible, there's actually a verse in the Bible that talks about how lions were delivered from the horns of the unicorns.
Oh wow.
So it's basically saying that they were more dangerous than a
Hmm.
lion. You know,
Yeah, well, some of the ancient like depictions of had them look more like a body of a bull,
yeah.
and a horn on their head, which just something else. Hey,
Hey,
Harry.
hi Harry, how are you, sir? Lovely to meet you all. Apparently, this is Harry's first time here. Should we indoctrinate Harry to
Let's welcome you with the proper way.
Gabba gabba, we accept you, one of us. Gabba gabba, we accept you, one of us.
All right, Harry, just simply by being here, you are now a member of the Talking Dead. Thank you for coming, and there is no charges to be a member. Thank you very much.
This is true. Welcome you just by being here. Like he said, you are a member of our Talking Dead, and we appreciate all of our Talking Dead that show up week in and week out and wait for us patiently sometimes while we take a little break because we got some stuff to do.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
but
So,
yeah, coming back to
well, real quick,
guess it,
just so you know, Harry,
yeah.
also,
Oh,
our Talking Dead don't bite, but they might nibble a little bit, just so you're aware.
it's okay. Just and if it's not okay, you can just tell them, hang on, come back next week, and we'll
We
try
try
it.
to make it a little bit better, and then we'll maybe do a lobe or something. Anyway, as you were saying, Chris.
Yeah, going back, the problem with this movie is like I had said in the synopsis of it, we spent about a half hour, 40 minutes or so before we get this click of we're in a horror movie. And when we do this click, I really, really liked how they kind of carried this out.
I do too.
You've got the creepy jump scares, you've got the silhouettes of this. It's a unicorn and they've got a horn and it's a horse head and he's got giant monster teeth and spurs coming off of their hooves. And
I have a
oh,
question for you.
yeah,
Okay, as the CGI wasn't great, but you know what? When you're in this kind of movie, I'm okay with it.
yeah.
I honestly was. Wouldn't it have been more cool though, especially the scene where the old man gets it, right?
Mm.
If it was the white pristine with gold,
It's true because
and he kind of ducked it down like he was bowing, and then just
yeah,
because it would have came so far out of left field, you'd have been like, "What the fuck?"
right. As soon as I mean, we hit a unicorn, and I'll tell you what, the unicorn coming out of the car part was hilarious because this
I
thing's
agree.
like screaming and kicking, and the weird security lady shoots it. And this is after it's hit by a car, and after it was bludgeoned by a tire iron. It was
You're welcome.
absolutely.
You don't cause problems. You're here on purpose, I mean, and that's why we're here. Is to and we invite everyone that way. So yes, absolutely. Thank you so much for being here.
Yes, we accept you no matter what. No matter what your thought is on this movie. And this is I think this is the best part of the movie. Where we've got this creepy thing going around. The first kill is the silhouette and the scientist, and oh no, there's a little blood on my shirt. And where did that there's a horn coming out of me. Great. But like you said, I like the fact that all of a sudden these things showed up and they're black fur and smoky and sooty.
Well, wait a
But
minute. They're black fur at night when they're attacking people, but they're white and beautiful when they're not.
yeah, I mean that's the other thing. The lighting in this is kind of weird. We go from the middle of the night to the middle of the day. Um and we're not sure if that's what changed it or is it the attitude of the unicorns that changed it. We're not really sure.
I took it as it was like camouflage, right?
Okay.
Time and there, but you're gonna camo your unicorn by giving them black fur, but yet their horn is going to glow a beautiful gold color.
And the aurora borealis will shine no matter when they're coming.
Yes.
So, the aurora borealis. Ah, it's the herald of the dangerous unicorn with the big nasty teeth. Yeah. It make you soil your armor.
I literally went. So now they're going to get warnings every time they're coming. Yeah. Anyway.
Hey, but what ensues is some of the greatest deaths that and creature kills, I could say. I mean, we got to see Tia Leone's insides at some point.
Yes. Her outsides have always been pretty. Now we found out her insides look good too.
Yeah, it's a little stringy. I love the kills that they were over the top. A little on the CGI side where you're like, yeah, I saw that in the video game I played, kind of thing.
In the 90s.
But I kind of worked for me. And this is where I started turning to where I get it, this movie where it's at, but it was that escape of, I really don't care. We're going to show you this. This guy gets killed with the horn and this guy gets ripped in half. I do like,
the hand kill was in my opinion, was the best. Through the head, and I thought that was fantastic. So
there was some great ones. Odell, which is the patriarch of the family, where he's got it in him like, I got this, I'm here, like I'm here and everything's okay, and I'm going to steal all of your secrets. And dude, you just told the unicorn everything's okay, no scare, and then I'm going to basically rip you apart. Of course you got ripped in half by a couple of horn wielding horses that aren't horses and are not related to horses. We're not quite sure what they must be their own.
Anyway, no.
Thankfully, there were scientists there, so you believe them.
Hold on a minute, time it. Okay, so here's where another beef, and then I'm going to stop with, I promise, until we get to the very end. I'm not going to have any more beef at this point, because the very end made me want to just throw the TV. When we, as the audience, are often in horror films well ahead of the people on the screen. We knew there was something wrong with Norman Bates well before the rest of the cast. We knew that Jack Nicholson in The Shining was off his rocker well before his wife did. We knew this thing, right?
Right.
But in this movie, where we knew that the unicorns were regenerating, in front of them 3 times before
the scientist said it
out at the end, who's quote unquote the best scientist money can buy. I was like sitting there going, why am I
the best part was they're regenerating, they're coming back to life. Quick, get me more horn and I can snort.
Yeah, no doubt. And let me take this and put it in my pocket. No, you didn't see that happen. So yeah, but I'm with you though. Once this happened, there was only a couple of things that made me want to shake my head. I don't think they needed to do the whole, she's a princess and it's going to bow before her. I thought that was a little too much, but I was okay with it because at this point we're dealing with a fantasy horror comedy. None of which was actually achieved, but it was a close try. But I'm with you. I thought that like the section when they were hunting them in the woods, where the unicorn was, basically as a decoy, and the other unicorns were flying around and doing all that stuff. I thought that was hilarious. Yes, Harry, ask your question, sir. And then we go from there, right?
Yeah. This is where I think where I was looking at this movie kind of turned, where I'm like, oh, I get it. We're thrown into this kingdom of these exist, and this is how it works, and you're supposed to kind of keep the balance of it. Basically, don't touch the unicorns. It's like Yellowstone. The bison are there. You take a picture in your car. Don't get out, stupid. Otherwise, you get sent into the air, which is like on Torons on Instagram.
So, hey, I used to live in that area. I can tell you right now, there are more people killed up there by bison every year than there are by any 2 predators combined, because people think they're big furry cows, and they're not. And I'm telling you right now, those unicorns are not big furry horses. They are not.
Harry, we are a review show. We like to take movies that from anywhere from the 70s, 60s. We've talked about everything horror related, and this is a comedy horror that was denoted as comedy horror. Movie that we are reviewing, Death of a Unicorn, starring Paul Rudd and Jenna Ortega. And we love our chat and you being part of the chat. And that's why we like interacting with all of your questions and your answers and your feelings on the movies that we talk about, because you are important to us.
Yes, and if you hang around for just a few more minutes, we will rate this movie and put it onto our shit list. Once you see our shit list, you'll understand. And then we'll draw our movie randomly for next week, so that way everyone is able to watch the same movie, be on the same page, and we love to have discussions with you. So if you don't agree with us, let us know in the chat. If you do agree with us, let us know. That's why we're here, to talk about these things. Hopefully that clarifies for you. If you have any other questions or if you have any other statements, don't hesitate to let us know. And our chat members will also let you know. They're really, really good people.
Yeah, like I was saying, this movie kind of made the switch to me that, we're living in a fantasy kind of thing. I'm wondering if the rich people that bought this preserve didn't know something might be special here. And maybe that's why this compound was kind of set up. Because they were awful quick to be like, oh, this got rid of your acne. Oh, this got rid of your allergies. Cool. Inject me. I have stage 4 crazy cancer.
Yeah.
And I'm an asshole. So okay. And I got better and I feel good. So cut me off a hunk of that unicorn and cook it medium rare. I want it just basting in its own rainbows.
Yes.
And
basing in its own rainbow. Absolutely true.
yeah, which is kind of weird when you're sitting there going, these things like regenerate and where did you cut the steak from, bud?
So I will also say this: again, the horror aspect of it at the end was good. The CGI was not good. The fact that they were able to have them going through the house, I thought that was a good play. Again, anyone in the chat who's knows us at all knows that we're not a big fan of overly CGI movies. But yet, when you're in a movie like this, it's excusable and it's actually expected. So I thought, even though it like you said, wasn't done well, a big part of the budget went mostly to our cast payroll, not to CGI. But it's okay. You could tell that they really cared about what they were making. They weren't just throwing something, at you like a stuffed turkey saying that you've been stuffed. And I was cool with it up until the point at the end when Paul Rudd decided that he wanted to, make the heartwarming speech. And I went, make it stop.
Yeah, because you weren't really there when she needed you through this entire thing, including when she was worried that she might get stabbed with the unicorn hand as well. So, it was, like I said, I think this is where the change came into, and you really realize that this is a great escape movie. There's nothing that you need to know going into it. It's mindless. There's no agenda. There's no message they're really trying to send in this movie.
Well, I don't know. I still think they kind of overplayed the whole rich is bad.
To a point, yeah, I think so, and I think we kind of sat on we're sitting on the elite. Like, these are the people that ran over everybody to get there, kind of thing. So keeping it in the family, it was good. Like I said, Anthony Carrigan's character in this killed me as Griff. Like, just the little things where, like Paul Rudd's getting food and he's like, isn't there an omelet? And his whole, just the moment where he's just like,
yeah.
Okay, like, he just runs and does everything for this family and they don't care about him one bit. And so he kept me going. Will Poulter was hilarious in this, right to the end. Right, a little overplayed on the we're gonna put all of this unicorn dust up our nose, which was weird. Um, it played along with a lot of these shows, the unicorns on how they're going to creep up on you and get you, and the I'm going to stand in front of them even though they tore apart everybody I know. We play these moments over and over, but I really think he had that little bit of humor, the slapstick type of humor, the little bit of wit, that really had me rolling. I thought his part was played greatly. You know, even down to the like, I feel like I shouldn't be wearing swim shorts for this kind of occasion. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Like I said,
delivery was great.
he and Tia Leone were my two favorite characters. Shocked me to say that. You know, I've heard someone in the past say Tia Leone is because of Jurassic Park 3 is forever going to be known as the woman who could um, complain about everything all at once. You know,
Yep.
but I thought she was great in this. I really did. And I was good with it all the way up to the end. I thought the whole let's touch unicorns and make all glittery glowy was a
Yeah, we just crossed our horns and everything makes better. This is when the end came, I was like, you know what? This is a really good movie. It's a really good movie. It's not a horror movie in
No.
any way. The horror moments of this movie were really good. Like when it switched, I was like, oh, okay. Like I get it. Like these aren't unicorns. Apparently they've got claws and giant monster teeth, and I just got to the point where you're like, they got claws and giant monster teeth, and they're eating people that I apparently I should be caring more about, but I don't.
I will say that
Even down to the end where our main character gets it, and I'm kind of like, well, if he wasn't a dick,
okay.
you know, like even down to the end, you're gonna stab the bad guy, you know, like,
Okay.
but like I said, I came to it, I'm like, you know what, it was mindless, it was kind of fun, I like the kills in it, it was kind of neat. It's more of a fantasy movie for me, and it fails for horror for me. It's a fail. But so when I go into the fantasy mode of it, where okay, I see it as a fantasy movie. A lot of those things kind of melt away to where I'm like, you know what? I watched it again. I'm like, I'm entertained. I'm not expecting the jump scares. They were fun. I'm not expecting the darkness. That was fun. And nothing really matters. And in the end, there's a heartwarming moment. And okay, cool.
So,
But-
so if you were going to rate this movie on a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being the greatest thing you've ever seen, it transcends the genre and everyone needs to see it. 1 being a miserable dredge that makes you angry that you watched it.
Right.
5, it's all the beats. Where would you put this one?
So 10 being transcending media, this is not. I found it enjoyable. But like I said, we genre bend, and where we could have brought all of those genres together, it failed at. It failed at getting that fantasy and horror and everything perfect with literally just the character arcs. It kind of failed. And that's the drawback to it. Fun movie. I suggest you go see it, form your own opinion on it. Absolutely. As far as rating it, I'm not going to be as friendly as I think Alan thought I was going to be with it, because I liked the movie. I really did. But it is about a 6.5 for me. It hits all the marks. It's fun in the moments it's fun, but it failed as a horror movie for me. And I think we really could have hit it harder had we just gave it a little more. And maybe that ended up on the editing room floor. Maybe it didn't. But what we're given, fun, not a horror movie. I can't rate it high as a horror movie. It's just something you got nothing to do. You got some popcorn. There you go.
There you go. I'm not going to argue with you on any of that. I'm with you. I'm thinking that on a scale from 1 to 10, I'm putting this at maybe a 5.5, maybe.
It's fair.
I truly like the ending of it. I thought the ending did a lot better than the beginning of it. But it's not. If someone said to me, Alan, would you recommend this movie to somebody? I would have to say I would, but I would give them the same caveat. I would say, hey, if you're going into this just as a just as a popcorn flick, you're going to
Mhm.
enjoy it.
Yeah.
If you're going to go into it as a horror movie, you're going to be sorely disappointed.
Yeah.
Now I have spent the last 35 minutes or so, 30 of the 35, crapping on this movie. I don't think it was as bad as that. I think where I personally fell short on this is because of the fact that I like creature features.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of werewolves. As you guys heard when we did Godzilla -1, it wound up in our top 5.
Mhm.
I love creature features. So when I heard unicorns that are, monstrous and killing people, I'm thinking, oh my God, this could be gold. This could be something that they could literally just absolutely make franchises about.
Mhm.
I'm in it. Give me more of that, right? Give me
Right.
more of those killer unicorns because I'm thinking there's some way, Pegasus. Oh my God, there's all kinds of ways to go. Um, but this one, it I think they tried to lay too much into the comedy and not enough into the actual lore. Guys that get a chance to look up the lore on these unicorns, you'll get it.
Yeah.
And so
Unrealized, which brings us to our shit list. The sometimes hilarious, intentionally tasteless. You will not agree with any part of this list, but it's okay because it's our list. We deal with rewatchability. Is a big thing when it comes to this list. Would we say, "Hey, this is a good one. I'm going to watch this one again"? And this movie is hard to kind of rate in this freaking list, man, because while I liked it, I think the drawback for me for the low rating is because I went into it with no expectations except for a horror comedy.
yep,
And I got the comedy right and I got some of the horror right. But there was another genre that overwhelmed the story as more of like a heartwarming fantasy.
yeah.
And I not that that's bad. It's just I didn't expect that going into it, and that's not what I was really wanting from the creature. Like you said, what we were given in the end was a letdown.
Yep,
Um,
yep.
and not only that, but as scary as it was when it doesn't want to be scary, I guess apparently it's not scary. So
I am with you. I think that to me, this movie is a 54 on our list, maybe a 53. No, I don't even, no. It's a
mm,
ugh, it's a 55.
yeah.
It's
Okay. See, I see when I look down the list and I'm like, okay, I see where we're at in the 50s. I'm good with the 50s, and it's better than Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies. It's like I said, and
I will say it's better
that's
than Black
about it.
Friday, which would have been a much better Power Rangers movie than it actually
I don't know. I think going into Friday, I expected ridiculous horror, and we got ridiculous horror.
Okay.
And only because of Bruce Campbell being in it. The Bruce Campbell point, I'll call it, makes it better than A Death of a Unicorn. Fun movie. It's just not a horror movie, and it kind of disappoints you when you're looking for that.
Yeah, I
So
agree. I agree. So you're saying 61 is where we're going to lock it in?
60, yeah. Ooh, Viking Wolf. Was it better than Blood Red Sky? You think it was worse than Blood Red Sky?
Um, no, no, I think it was better than Blood Red Sky.
Yeah, I put it right around with Viking Wolf. I saw it once, I saw it twice.
That
Eh,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
very good.
The only way I'll ever watch this again is like if like my grandson or someone was to say, "Hey, Papa, let's watch this," and I'd watch it with him. But this is not something I would watch on purpose.
It was great the first time through. The jokes they're played out within the movie itself. So watching it a second time, it's kind of it's disappointing because you know the punchline because they gave you the punchline 3 times in the movie.
Yeah,
So you get the punchline 6 times. I wouldn't recommend to go watch it a second time.
yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. All right, so let's put a pin in this one. We're gonna call it quits. And let's look at let's pick our movie for next week. How do you think?
Let's do that. I agree, Elizabeth. I do believe they kind of left it open ended to where we can go somewhere else with this. And if they want to dig down deeper into the horror, I'm down. If not, I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm with you. I really am. All
So where are
right,
we going next week, Alan?
let's everybody, let's take a click.
Click, click, click.
Oh, the
Oh,
oh man, this is the newest rendition from about 5 years ago. Let's see when and where is that one go? Let me look that up real quick.
I would call that new horror. When it comes to our stuff, I would say that would be new horror.
Yeah, we do.
Where's she available right now?
But let's look and see.
2020. Where to watch? It is NBC free, so the NBC channel. You can download. Not Peacock. It is free to watch.
It is on. I'm sorry. Did you say it is on
The
Peacock?
NBC channel, you could probably reach it on a PC or the NBC app. It says free to watch. Peacock, you would have to be subscribed in order to watch on Peacock. So if you don't have Peacock, it looks like the NBC app can get you a free watch.
There you go. All right.
That should be an interesting one. It loosely based on H.G. Wells. Big fan of his books when I was a youngster.
I agree.
So let's see what happens.
I think you could also get it through Amazon, but you may have to pay a little something for it.
Yeah, it looks like a little rental fee.
Yeah, which is okay too. Yeah, I have seen this one already, and I'm not sure. Hold on a second here. The Walt Man just stepped into the. He has been with us once or twice before. He is, or once early on. This was before you and I became so he still gets the
Oh yes, welcome.
Gabba gabba, we accept you, one of us. Gabba gabba, we accept you, one of us.
So he makes a good point here. He says the Unicorn would be a great movie to watch if you were with a bunch of friends and you were drinking. I know what that means, and I'm hoping that's not one of the choices that we were thinking about.
We already watched it a couple more times than we probably should have.
So while Walt is here,
nice.
The bottle of Dead Guy Ale was won as a prize at the Horror Fest last year, and I always keep it, and we will pass it along to whoever wins the contest this year. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Nice.
He would say, "Stop it! Stop it!
Sure. Just
stop it." Anyway, all right. So next week it is the Invisible Man. Anything else you'd like to say to the fine people before we check out tonight?
Well, we are back from our little summer break. Hopefully, we can get together every week. Alan and I look forward to speaking with each other and goofing on some stuff before and after the show. And we love being here for the show and everybody in the Talking Dead. We love your guys' opinions. We love your guys' thoughts on the movies that we cover. You can reach out to us through our bio link. If you check with Lunar Girl in our live chat right now, she'll put that down there. Our bio.link/graverev, where you can reach us on all of our socials. We're going to be picking up again. We are coming into, well, you know what? Dollar General has it out. We're in spooky season, everybody. There's Halloween costumes and stuff being put out on the shelves. Not that we needed an excuse to watch horror, but that means we are definitely in the spooky season. Halloween is coming, All Hallows Eve. We can't wait for all the new horror that's coming out. There's so much. There's really more than we can really cover. Yes. But we'll do our best. Reach out to us on any of those socials. You can see our small videos, our little vignettes. I'm going to be cutting some more stuff and putting some things out there. Insta, TikTok, Facebook. Got everything in there, including our email. If you got suggestions for movies, let us know. We can, not Grave Red, Grave Rev. Thanks, LG. Ignore the first link. But yeah, you can reach out to us. You got suggestions? We want to put it on the wheel. We can give that spin every week to find out where we're going to watch the next week and cover on the Wheel of Terror. Reach out. you got feelings on this movie, we'd love to hear from you when this
Absolutely.
is over. Go down in the comments, let us know what you think. Send us an email, reach out to us on any of those socials. And until we meet again, friends, stay spooky.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is such an honor and pleasure to be able to put this little show on and talk about something we love and have people like Walt and then we had Harry who stopped in the chat tonight. Just wanted to say thank you to everyone who's been here, and to LG always, to Mar always for having our backs. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, as we always like to say when we sign off, may all of your nightmares be groovy. See you next time. Have a good night,
See ya.
everyone.
Have a good night.